Okay, hello, this is Dr. James, and today we're going to talk about trying to fix a fuel leak inside of, what is this? This is a Cross Country XC70, okay? Okay, so what happened was I took it in for inspection, and of course we have this forced inspection, violation of your constitutional rights in Virginia, where they force you to fix unnecessary things. But maybe this is a little bit necessary because the fuel is leaking. Let's get under the car and take a look. You see some wet spots down there, and we try to look up inside. You see some drips coming down off of the gas tank, and you see here's the oil, the gas filter, and here's the pipe that goes up inside, and it looks like it's coming down from the top. So upon further investigation from the internet, it looks like there's some kind of access from the top side of the gas tank inside the car. So let's take a look inside, and of course right above that are seats. So we're going to have to probably take these seats out, and we'll talk about how to do that next. Okay, so the people on the internet are highly recommending that you disconnect the battery before you start messing around with the fuel up there. And so here's where the battery is. Let's take a closer look in here, and there's the positive and there's the negative. And it looks like there's only one connection going to the negative. To break an electrical circuit, you only need to break it in one spot, so looks like it'll be easier to take off the negative side. So this is a 10 millimeter, so we will undo that bolt, and this is there we go. Okay, so now the battery circuit is broken. Okay, so one thing about these seats, I don't know if you can see. Let's get the camera in here a little bit. There's like a little tab here right in the corner of this seat. If you pull up on that, then you can flip the whole seat forward, and the gas tank is kind of under here. It looks like there's some kind of metal plate under there, and this seat can be flipped forward. If you go up here, I find that sometimes you have to rock it back and forth because it gets stuck. A little lab will pop up, tab. It's got another latch where it pops up, and you can flip that seat forward. Okay, but you still can't really get to it. We're going to go around the back. We'll take a look in the back to see what we got back here. And again, this back helps. There's a little latch you have to pull back, but if you push in before you pull back, it makes it easier to get that opened. And then there's some carpeting back here. I think we'll roll this up and stick it someplace for now. And this thing right here, you can actually flap it, flips up. If you pull straight back on it, it comes out. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look on the inside. Now that we've got all that junk out of the way. And, oh wait, here's a little flap that goes over the spare tire. So let's take a look at that. We can pull that guy out as well. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. Okay, let's put him over here. Be careful, he's kind of cardboard. It looks like it breaks kind of easily. And we can climb right in here. There's your spare tire. And if you flip up this carpeting here, you can see the top of where that gas tank is, and it's right under that seat. That seat has got to come out somehow, because I don't think it's going to be very easy to undo those screws and work on that thing with that seat on top of it. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Okay. Okay, so let's walk around, and we have the seat here. We have this thing. This thing looks like, this little cushion thing looks like it's covering up part of the where the seat's got to be released from the car. And so, just tried this a second ago. If you can get your fingers in between here and just pull really hard, it's got a latch there that releases it. Oh, it's got some more latch things down there that have to go into some kind of socket probably. And so, we'll take this thing and set him aside, and we'll take a look at the situation. Okay, so it looks like we're probably going to have to remove this plug thing before we do anything else. This little yellow plug thing. And I finally got it loose. If you push down really hard on here, and then I got a screwdriver, kind of twisted it in here, the thing finally popped out after about 15 minutes of fiddling with it. Okay. And so we will get that guy out of the way. And it looks like there is some kind of bolt there. I'm not sure if that's what I did watch a YouTube video, and they claim that there's some kind of release, spring release or something, but I don't see anything like that in this car. Looks completely different than anything I've seen before. So let's we'll take a look at that. I'll fiddle around with it some more and see if I can figure out what the heck's going on here. Okay, so there's another bolt up here, and it kind of looks like we have to take this one off. Looks like it's attached to the seat, and really like to have a socket, but unfortunately all I have is a box end wrench, 9/16, and I think we can maybe persuade it to come out with this. Hold it on there, and I'm able to get in there okay. So, someone once told me anyone can do the job with the right tool. It takes an engineer to do the job with the wrong tool. And so I'm an engineer, and we'll improvise with what we got. Yeah, it's been freezing cold lately, so I wanted to get this done, get her done before it gets cold again, because today was a nice day. And it really kind of stinks having a vehicle that's leaking gasoline, besides being a safety hazard. Okay. Okay, we got that bolt out, and let's see what, oh, look at that, the seat just lifts up, but it's still somehow attached over on the other side, so I didn't get the trick on getting that one out yet. Okay, here we are in the back again. I want you to notice that I have this thing up a little bit, but it's not latched. It's definitely unlatched on that side. And after fiddling around with this thing for a while, I think I've figured out the trick. So we've already unbolted it from the left-hand side. Actually, I tried taking out these bolts on the right-hand side. I tried taking out these bolts on the left-hand side. They were unnecessary to take out, so I put them back in. So we take the seat so it's loose over on the right hand side over here, So we can kind of lift it up and just pull. And you pull, then this peg thing comes out, and the seat is now completely free, I think. Except for the seat belts. Okay. So, okay, the seat is out. Let's figure out what's going on with the seat belts here. Okay. Well, it looks like... Okay. Okay, come here. So, there's some ring things here with little hooks. You can unhook those. And those just kind of keep the seat in place. I got another one under here. It's not really easy to see that, is it? Okay. But anyway, so you unhook these guys. Okay. So he's unhooked. And let's see. We can pull this seat out now. What the heck? There's still something. Oh, I know. Oh gosh. It's still hooked to the seatbelt down here. Okay, anyway. I just want to get it out of the way so I can get to the gas tank. Okay, so the seatbelt is still hooked up to the front of the seat. Okay, it looks like before you can take that seat out, you got to take the seatbelt stuff out. There's a bolt here and a bolt here, and I just tried a few different wrenches, and this one seems to be fitting with a 15mm. So I wonder if the other one was actually metric also, since this is a Volvo. So anyway, I want to just remind you that this is a safety issue, so you do this at your own risk. You put this seat back in and getting the seat belts back in. You know, if you don't get those right, you do that at your own risk, because people could get killed if you get in an accident and you don't have the safety stuff set up right. Okay. So anyway, looks like 15mm seems to fit on that thing, and I don't know if you can see, it's kind of shielded over here. There is another one, and 15mm does not fit on that, but fortunately 17mm does. So we'll try this one, I guess. And this, I think we have to remove this plate because this is right over top where the fuel thing is, and we need to get into that to see why our fuel thing's leaking. Okay. So I would guess this is probably a metric car. As you know, Europeans like that metric system. So do engineers, but nobody else does. So, okay. So a ratchet would probably work better, because I'm having a hard time getting the swing on this. So I'll just crank on it for a while, and then we'll come back to see how this thing comes out. Okay, so we got this last bolt out of here, and that comes out with the seat belt thing. And it looks like now we can lift away this plate that was getting in our way. And now I think we can take out the seat without the seat belts giving us a problem. Okay, so here we are in the back of the car again. And in order to get those seat belts out, I did actually relatch this thing over here. You got this latch thing you can undo. It'll get right in here, and I put the screw in temporarily to keep this thing from moving around. Pull that screw back out. Okay, and then there's a pin on this side, so if you lift up the seat, kind of pull it this way, make sure it clears over here, then the pin will come out, and now we've got the seat belts out of the way. Oh, I guess except for one. There's one more down there. Okay, I think we're clear enough. Got that plate out of the way, and there we go. So now we can lift up this carpeting here and hopefully get to the fuel tank cover here. So let's take a look at that. Okay, here we go. So we're down to the gas can cover here, and it looks like these are probably 10 millimeters, and I do have a 10 millimeter ratchet. So let's see what's under here. Loosen these things up. It's kind of like Christmas, huh? Can't wait to see what we're going to get. Hopefully it'll be an easy fix. Oh, man. Just makes me so happy thinking about all the money that I save not taking it down to the fix-it shop. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's take these bolts off and see what we got under here. Okay, we'll just use this bit like a screwdriver. Pull these off quickly. There we go. One. And there's what we're looking at, a little hex nut. And what did I say it was? 10 millimeters? Okay. Four. Okay. And, oh gosh, here we go. Let's take this plate off and see what's under here. Oh, some kind of O-ring thing that's kind of stuck. Looks like it's got a bunch of wires coming into it. Okay, be careful not to rip this thing. Looks like I gotta pull the whole thing away from the metal. Oh gosh, what's going on here? Uh-oh. Maybe. Oh, gosh. What the heck? Okay. So, here's what we got. I guess we want to leave the O-ring thing kind of down. Okay, I don't know if you can see that very well. I've pulled the metal plate off, and it is smelling like gasoline in here. And it looks like a bunch of gasoline is all over the top here. That's got lots of gasoline in here. Okay, so I guess what we're gonna do, we'll try to start up the car now and see where the gasoline's squirting out, so we can figure out how we're gonna fix this thing. here's something. I'm not sure what's leaking. There's the fuel pump. Lots of gasoline in there. And maybe the thing to do is for me to soak up a lot of this gasoline, then we'll try to see where it's leaking out. It's definitely not good. Okay, so what I did is I cleaned out the whole area in here because it was all filled up with gasoline, and it looks like right in this little quadrant right here it just keeps on filling up with more gasoline. So there must be some kind of leak right in this plastic. I'm not sure where it is. So we'll have to figure out whether we're gonna have to replace something, or I don't know if you can clog that up with epoxy or something, or whether you have to replace the whole pump or what. But so anyway, it looks like there's some kind of leak right up where the pump is, right where it comes out into the fuel line, right in this little top area up here. And so anyway, I'll have to figure out what we're going to do about that. But anyway, here's how to find the fuel pump on the Volvo XC70. Okay, and I believe this is a 2003. Thanks for watching. Okay, let's try to clean this out a little bit. Get some of that dirt out of there. Take a screwdriver and stick it in there. Clean out some of this dirt. Bunch of junk in there. Okay, so the people on the internet are highly recommending that you disconnect the battery before you start messing around with the fuel up there. And so here's where the battery is. Let's take a closer look in here, and there's the positive and there's the negative. And it looks like there's only one connection going to the negative. To break an electrical circuit, you only need to break it in one spot, so looks like it'll be easier to take off the negative side. So this is a 10 millimeter, so we will undo that bolt, and this is there we go. Okay, so now the battery circuit is broken. Okay, let's see if we can disconnect the fuel pump, because I tried to unhook those hoses and they were just spraying gasoline all over the place. So I assume that something's still working to put a lot of pressure on that system. So let's try to see what we can do about this. This plug right here. Ooh. Hey boy. Okay. You know, on second thought, you know, if we've disconnected the battery back there, this fuel pump shouldn't matter whether we unplug that or not. That's doing nothing at this point, because there's no battery hooked up to it. So that thing sprayed a little bit last time when I unplugged it. You got to push on the front and the back of these things. I don't know if you can see that. Let's zoom in. This little self-sealing thing. It's kind of like a white thing you can press on the front and the back. Sprayed a bunch of gasoline when I did that last time, but now it looks like the pressure has been relieved. Okay, so I've unhooked both of those. What I'll do is I'll clean up the gasoline, because it just kept on welling up, just an infinite well of gasoline coming out of that crack. And there's no way I could seal it up if I wanted to, because I need to have all that gasoline out of there. So now that we've got these things disconnected, it looks like they stop spraying once you unplug them. So we'll try to soak up the gasoline, and then we'll get some sealant, maybe try to plug that crack up on that pump. Okay. Okay, right now I'm trying to soak up all the gasoline and get this thing all cleaned up. It's got to be really nice and clean and dry in order to, I think we're going to try to glue this thing up. I was looking into the different options, and someone on the internet, YouTube also, tried putting epoxy in there. I'm not sure what kind of epoxy they used. Seems like a good idea, because I don't know where that crack is, but it's down there, and if you put epoxy in these holes, it will definitely seal that up. But I was a little bit concerned about whether the epoxy would be resistant to gasoline, because if you got gasoline constantly trying to eat it up, it could be a problem. So I found this. It's JB Weld. I know JB Weld is usually been pretty good for me in the past, and this one is chemical and petroleum resistant. It's for boats, and it's marine weld. And so maybe I should put it like that. And so I think we'll give this a shot, stir some up, and just fill that thing up. After, of course, we want to get that all cleaned out. It's still kind of yucky in there, so we'll clean out the top of that and just fill that up, and hopefully that will fix our problems. So okay, so I have a screwdriver just to kind of force that paper towel down there and try to dig that crap out of there. And of course, here's the side where it appears to be leaking. A long, thin screwdriver, I get down there, scrape that crap out of there. Seems to be cutting through the paper towel, so I have to jam the paper towel in there a little bit and try to. Okay. Anyway, and we'll clean that up, let it dry off for a while, and then we'll try to stir up some epoxy and see if that fixes our problem. Okay, so I think we're going to try to mix up some epoxy. So we got just found a styrofoam plate and some chopsticks that I didn't use, some wooden chopsticks. I was looking for popsicle sticks or something, but I didn't have any of that, so we'll improvise with what we have. So the epoxy is a chemical reaction. It takes two parts. They react together, and then they harden. So it says squeeze out equal lengths. We're gonna put a lot of epoxy in here, I think. So we'll pierce the top with the. See how I did that? Pierce the top. There's a little pointy thing there, and we'll just squeeze out. We'll squeeze out a whole bunch of this. There we go. Okay, so $7 fix. Okay. Yeah, actually I'm going to put some more on because I want to make sure this is really going to get filled up. Okay. And what is that? That's the hardener. And so we'll put the resin down. Oh. Pop the top, right? Pop the top. Squeeze that chunk out. Try to make them equal lines. Oh man. Okay. Think that's enough? I hope that's enough. Be nice to be able to have some left over for some other projects if we need it, right? Okay. I'll put the top back on that guy. We'll get out our handy dandy chopsticks. And we will start smearing this stuff together. Remember, you want to mix this stuff real thoroughly. Oh God. I don't know if it's too cold out here or what. It's real thick. I think I'm going to need more than this. this is not acceptable. So anyway, we're going to squeeze some more out. Just mix them up real good, or it won't work right. It'll ruin what you're trying to do if you don't have them mixed real thoroughly. Okay, here we go. And this stuff, I can tell you, is very, very thick and very hard to mix. But you want to see how it's all a uniform color and kind of a grayish color. It started out with black and white, and you mix them together, and it turns out gray. Oh, okay. And so I think that's looking pretty good. So we'll see if we can scrape some of this off the plate and stick it down here. There, stick it down there where we want to seal up the cracks. I like to just plug this whole thing up, as I know it's leaking under that one. Let's see what we can do. Oh gosh, this is such a mess. Okay. Try to fill her all up with epoxy. See if we can plug up that hole. Okay. So we'll zoom in a little bit. Try to. Whew, this stuff is not easy to work with. Okay, so we'll just keep on working on that, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, so I actually have two chopsticks, so now that I think about it, that works out pretty good, because I can use the one chopstick to help scrape the stuff off the other one, so we can get it all in there, because this is really difficult to work with. I can scrape some more up off the plate and try to fill all this gunk in those holes. Hopefully we can seal it up so we can pass inspection and not have to pay all of our money to the bureaucrats that want to bankrupt us. Right. Oh gosh, look at that. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'll just smear it all in. Make sure that makes a good seal. I don't think these top two were leaking, but if they weren't leaking before, they could be leaking in the future, so I think I'll just, so much work just to take this stupid thing apart. Doesn't hurt to do some preventative maintenance, right? Okay. Okay, there we go. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's a $7 fix, so let's let this thing harden for a while. Make sure it's all filled in. Let it harden overnight, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so here we go. I reconnected the battery, and as I determined, we didn't need to unplug that terrible plug on that pump, because unplugging the battery cuts all the electricity to the systems. So I left that plug on while I was working on it. And the epoxy's hardened, and our pump motor, I believe, is operational. And so let's try starting up the car and seeing if everything works okay. Let's see if we fix the fuel pump leak. Okay, car started okay. Let's walk back around. And I really think everything's looking pretty good here. I don't see any leaks anyplace. JB Weld here did the job, and so I think we'll be able to start putting all these stuff back together, and should be all set to go. Anyway, it's Dr. James. Thanks for watching.